I'm back with another video on the channel. Yes ma'am, yes sir. So today we're looking at the top 20 most disappointing NBA teams of all time. There's been a lot of disappointing teams in the NBA if you really think about it, whether you had one superstar on it or like three superstars on it. I'm gonna give you one off the top of the dome. 04-05 Detroit Pistons. I feel like they was very disappointed in me. They should have really, I feel like they should have done something with the talent that they had and the chance that they had too in the Malice Palace, you know. And of course, I don't remember the year. I want to say it's 2010, 2011, but I could be wrong. But the Miami Heat, when LeBron went to the Heat, I think it was the first year, whatever the year they lost to the Mavericks. That was very disappointing. I feel like they should have won. They should have three-peated. No cap. They should have definitely three-peated. But let's go ahead and get into this video. Y'all let me know what y'all think throughout this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, notification bell. Share this video with your friends and family. With that being said, let's get it.
Number 20, the 2011 Los Angeles Lakers. At the time this season took place, Los Angeles was coming off of back-to-back NBA championships and appeared as if they were on a collision course with the Big Three's Miami Heat. Considering how a championship would have given Kobe his 6th championship ring and given Phil Jackson his 4th three-peat, it almost seemed like a foregone conclusion that this team would make the NBA Finals. Despite some bumps in the road, they went 57-25 throughout the regular season and defeated the New Orleans Hornets in the first round in 6 games. But in the second round, they had absolutely no answer for the perimeter onslaught of the Dallas Mavericks, as they were swept in just 4 games, including the series clincher, where they lost by nearly 40 points. Definitely a disappointing outcome for a team that many people expected to three-peat. 19. The 1973 Boston Celtics. It was a handful of years after the departure of Bill Russell, yet this Boston squad was still incredibly stacked, led by their big four of John Havlicek, Dave Cowens, JoJo White, and Paul Silas. Throughout the regular season, they appeared to be on an absolute mission to win their first championship without Russell, as they finished with a dominant 68-14 record, along with the league's #1 ranked defense. At the time, that 68 win total was the second highest in NBA history. Unfortunately, they went on to demonstrate how they still missed Russell's poise and leadership, as their success didn't translate to the playoffs. In the second round, which at the time was the East Finals, the New York Knicks, who had won 11 less games in the regular season, defeated the Celtics in 7 games, which at that point made the Celtics the most successful regular season team to fail to win a championship. 18. The 2004 Los Angeles Lakers.
Bro, why did I not know Karl Malone was on there? I'm freaking weak. Look at Karl Malone's arms. Wow, that's crazy because I do not remember that.
After the Lakers' disappointing loss to the Spurs in 2003, Los Angeles retooled in the offseason and added 2 legitimate stars to their already dynamic duo of Shaq and Kobe. Those 2 acquired stars were the championship-hungry Karl Malone and Gary Payton. With these 4 Hall of Famers in the starting lineup, Los Angeles was fully expected to dominate the league, and some even expected them to challenge the Bulls' 72-10 record. Well, that didn't exactly happen, as issues arose like Kobe's distracting Colorado trial, drama between Shaq and Kobe, and various injuries to players like Shaquille O'Neal and especially Karl Malone. The team did finish with a 56-26 record and even made it all the way to the NBA Finals. But when they got there, they were absolutely dismantled by the defensively superior Detroit Pistons, who comfortably defeated the Lakers in 5 games and thus put an official end to the Shaq and Kobe era. 17. The 2014 New York Knicks. In the prior year, the Knicks had won 54 games throughout the regular season before they were eliminated in the second round. This was a rare bright spot for a modern Knicks team, and with their star tandem of Carmelo Anthony and Amari Stoudemire returning, along with the recent Defensive Player of the Year winner Tyson Chandler.
I ain't gonna hold you, that's probably the last time the Knicks been really good. They had a squad. They had J.R. Smith, Tyson Chandler, Amari Stoudemire. You know, it was like when everybody was in their prime. And, you know, some people argue saying like the Nuggets was Melo's prime. And some people say the Knicks was Melo's prime. So y'all gotta let me know which area y'all think was Melo's prime, like where he was best at.
There was no foreseeable reason to expect New York to be unable to replicate their success. Well, that's exactly what happened. A team that was expected to be a title contender instead finished 8 games below 500 at 37-45, which landed them the 9th seed in the Eastern Conference, which was just short of a playoff berth. 16. The 1998 Los Angeles Lakers. This year specifically is mostly remembered because of the Bulls and Jazz matchup in the NBA Finals. But what many people often forget is that some people actually expected the Lakers to be the ones to represent the West in the NBA Finals. It wasn't without legitimate reason, as the Lakers were incredibly talented and had 4 of their players make the NBA All-Star Game, which only a handful of teams have ever accomplished. Those players were Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe Bryant, Eddie Jones, and Nick Van Exel. This loaded group finished with a 61-21 record and dominated the first 2 rounds of the Western Conference playoffs. But in the West Finals, the battle-tested experience of the Jazz was just too much, as they swept the Lakers out of the West Finals in just 4 games, ruining what would have been...
I didn't even know the Lakers was getting swept like that. That's crazy.
Finals matchup between the 2 greatest shooting guards of all time. 15. The 2020 Los Angeles Clippers. After the surprising offseason acquisitions of both Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, many people expected this already talented Clippers team to suddenly be propelled to the NBA championship, and the Clippers themselves seemed to believe so as well. They did finish with a 49-23 record, but when the playoffs came along, little of that confidence actually translated to the basketball court, as Paul George's struggles earned him the nickname Pandemic P. As the favorite in the second round, they choked a 3-1 series lead, losing in 7 games to the much younger Denver Nuggets. And just like that, the most hyped team in Los Angeles Clippers history once again ended in disappointment.
I feel like those same people are still in that
the
team.
2011 Miami Heat.
Oh, yep,
this
was
the
year.
First year of Miami's Big Three, which was so hyped that they were the only team in league history to host a freaking concert because of how excited they were. Yes, this team did win 58 games and went on to the NBA Finals. But when you assembled LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh, arguably 3 top 10 players all in their prime, and you're predicting at least 8 titles before the season even starts, then anything short of a championship is going to be seen as a major disappointment. When the finals against the Dallas Mavericks arrived, LeBron James had easily the worst final season of his career, including Game 4, where he famously finished with a total of just 8 points. Ultimately, Dirk Nowitzki and the Mavericks vanquished the Heat in just 6 games.
But I ain't gonna hold you. I feel like that loss was very, very needed to humble them, unless they wasn't gonna win back-to-back the next 2 seasons. That's just my opinion. And also, Dirk worked very hard. Dirk was very, very, very loyal to Dallas, and he deserved that ring. He did. He deserved that ring. I'm trying to figure out who was on that team besides, I think it was Jason Kidd, Dirk, was it Jason Terry, Nick Van Exel. Like, I don't even think it was that many, like, superstars on there.
13. The 2018 Oklahoma City Thunder. This was a group with championship aspirations, and based on the talent they had on paper, it seemed somewhat warranted. They were led by the reigning MVP Russell Westbrook, Paul George, Carmelo Anthony, and Steven Adams. Sadly, what looked intimidating on paper didn't translate to the court, as chemistry issues were all over the place, and the stars themselves were growing extremely frustrated with their conflicting playstyles. By the end of the regular season, they finished with a shaky 48-34 record and ended up losing the first round in 6 games to the very inexperienced Utah Jazz. Ever since this moment, all 3 of these superstar players have been dealing with narratives that have been plaguing their legacies. 12. The 2009 Cleveland Cavaliers, a team that in reality was a bit more talented than it's usually remembered for. Obviously, they were led by the league's MVP, LeBron James, who had one of his most impressive regular seasons of his career. But they also had solid contributors like Mo Williams, Zydrunas Ilgauskas, and Ben Wallace. Together, they led Cleveland to a 66-16 record,
Dang, I
which
didn't know
was the
their
greatest
record was like
record in
that.
franchise history. They appeared to be on a collision course with Kobe Bryant and the Los Angeles Lakers, and the road to the finals seemingly became only easier when Boston's Kevin Garnett got a season-ending knee injury, severely crippling the chances of the defending champions. After going undefeated in the first 2 rounds, Cleveland was stunned by the underdog, the Orlando Magic, as Dwight Howard and the Magic defeated the favored Cavs in 6 games, ruining the closest chance we ever got of a Kobe versus LeBron NBA Finals.
That'd be
Number
nice.
11, the 2022 Brooklyn Nets. It's a massive yet fresh disappointment, and some may think
Nah, to be real though, you know, because that goes back to, you have these players, you paying these players all this money, and then you expect this outcome. And sometimes in reality, when you have too much talent, it just does not work. It just doesn't work, especially within 1 year. You have to get to know, how people play. You got to get to know the coaching. You got to get to know your team. You know what I'm saying? And it does get very disappointing because people expect things to click like that with superstar teams. And this Nets team really shocked the world last year when they got swept by Boston, because it was like, oh wow, y'all got swept and Boston was doing y'all in.
it needs to be higher on the list, but for several reasons, I think this is the perfect spot for them. This Brooklyn team obviously had tons of potential, as they were led by the 2-time Finals MVP winner Kevin Durant, who, up to this postseason, was basically always viewed as a big-game performer in the postseason. And with a recently greenlit Kyrie Irving by his side, most of us expected better than a weak first-round exit. Durant had one of the worst series of his career and was completely outplayed by the much younger Jason Tatum. The only reason I don't have this one higher on my list is because it wasn't quite as surprising as the ones ahead of it. With all the injuries, the missed games by Kyrie Irving, the short-term appearance of James Harden, and all the chemistry issues that come with that, all under the supervision of a rookie head coach, I honestly can't justify putting them in the top 10 when the writing seemed to have been on the wall for some time now. That was simply part 1 of the most disappointing NBA teams of all time. I'll give this video a couple days to breathe, and then I'll be dropping part 2.
Dang!
So stay tuned for that one.
You got fell
Now it's your
hard.
turn. What are some of your picks for the most disappointing team?
Okay, so y'all gotta let me know what y'all think of part 1 down below. Do y'all agree or disagree? Let me know if y'all want me to do part 2. And let me know any other videos like see me do. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, push that notification bell so you know when I'll post. With that being said, see you guys next video.